My name is Dan Poole. I'm going to be presenting our work investigating timing processes in autism. Autism is a common neurodevelopmental condition diagnosed according to differences in communication, social interaction, and restrictive behaviours. According to the temporal deficit hypothesis, disrupted timing is characteristic of autism and is proposed to underlie the behavioural and cognitive differences in the condition. This theory is underspecified in the nature of this timing deficit, and a variety of timing tasks have been used in the existing work. In a recent systematic review, we found that the evidence for reduced timing performance in autism is actually very mixed and may be modulated by the nature of the task. In the present study, we compared performance of autistic and neurotypical adults across a battery of established timing tasks plus questionnaires. We tested 57 autistic adults and 91 neurotypicals who were matched for age, sex, and full-scale IQ. I'll take you through each task in turn and explain the results. Retrospective estimate. At the start of the testing procedure, we took any time-telling device, that's like a watch or a phone, from each participant. At a fixed point in the testing procedure, we asked them to estimate how long had passed since then. In Figure 1, we show participants' estimates as a proportion of the elapsed time. There were no differences in estimates between the groups. Threshold task. In the threshold task, participants were asked to compare two durations with the difference between them adjusted according to an adaptive staircase. Figure 2. There were no differences in thresholds between the groups on either the auditory or the visual task, but the modality difference, the difference between the visual and auditory thresholds, was smaller in the autistic group. Verbal estimation. In the verbal estimation task, we directly measured participants' subjective estimates of duration. We fit a linear regression to their mean estimate and used each individual's slope as a measure of precision. Figure 3, there were no differences between the groups. Temporal generalization task. The temporal generalization task involves a memory component. The participant is asked to remember the duration of a standard and is asked if comparison durations are the same as the one they previously remembered. We use signal detection analysis to calculate A' as a measure of sensitivity. There were no differences between the groups in any condition, but overall A' was lower in the autistic than in the neurotypical group. Questionnaire measures. Participants also completed 2 questionnaires measuring behaviours related to time in daily life. Scores on the It's About Time questionnaire were lower in the autistic group, whereas scores on the time structure questionnaire were actually increased in the autistic group. Discussion. Questionnaire results suggested that time concept and management is reduced in the autistic group, that's the It's About Time scale, while how the autistic group structured their time and extracted meaning from their daily lives was increased, that's the time structure questionnaire. This suggests that differences, but not deficits, in behaviours related to time in daily life in autism. The smaller modality effect in the autistic group was not replicated across the other psychophysical tasks, so we're assuming that this was measurement error. The differences on the temporal generalization task may implicate the interaction of time with working memory in autism. However, overall, the take-home finding from this is that we did not find any evidence of a generalized timing impairment in the autistic group. It's likely that differences in everyday timing behaviours reported on the questionnaires are grounded in other cognitive processes than basic duration perception.